My name is Akshay Jaipuria. So today I'll be covering website deployment and like we'll be building up slowly to how to deploy a website. So basically we have two kinds of website, static website and dynamic website. So we'll see the difference between the websites in a high level overview, and then we'll understand why is it like a different process to deploy a static website and then deploying a dynamic website at the end. So let's begin. The building blocks of a website is how basically a website works. So in a website, we have three components, very basic three components: a client, a server, and the like from your part, the browser is the client, and the server that hosts your website, and the components of the website that you are hosting right now. So these three are the basic components. So on the screen, you can see a client, a server, and the request as the animated view right now. So the client is your browser. So when you enter any website like www.google.com, so basically you are requesting the server to send you the web pages and the web app concerning that domain. So that domain holds the entire website in the backend, and then it maps your the files into your browser. So that's basically how your website works. So we'll be seeing what is static website first, and then dynamic website. So the static websites are nothing but basically the components that involve least interaction from the backend portion. So they include HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and the files that are images or audio, video, anything, but it doesn't require the interaction from the server, a continuous interaction, because once you query the server, the pages are sent to your this thing browser, and then you don't have to do anything with the server now, like much interaction. You just click on the links and you get yourself transferred from one page to another, and this is how basically your static websites work. So you don't have anything to store in the backend except the pages. You don't have a database, you have nothing like on the computation part, and uh, nothing to like process the client request here. So that's basically a very small load on the server, and you don't require high resources for that. And as you can read on the screen, there are fixed number of pages and the layouts. So basically these pages are brought into your browser, and then you can just view those pages, and they are links to the other pages and the components that you can simply view. So you don't have anything to continuously ask the server that send me these components or that. And that is how static websites work. So coming to the dynamic websites, they are like the components of static websites are here as well, but you have far more components except the HTML and CSS and JavaScript pages. So here you have the backend scripting as well. So in backend scripting, you have many languages and frameworks that you can use for this thing, server side programming. So we have PHP and Python. So Python have many frameworks and libraries that you can use to program your backend. So for that, we'll be covering two types of backend here, like not the backend exactly, the deployment of the this thing, dynamic websites. So for that we have Django for Python and Flask for Python. So we'll be covering for Django, and one more thing, this Node.js is there. So I'll be explaining what is Node.js and Django in a minute. So this is basically your dynamic website. In dynamic website, you, apart from this thing, HTML pages and JavaScript, the CSS, you also have databases. And then apart from databases, you have the computation, the server computation, because every time you just send a request to the server, the server basically computes your like whatever computation is required, and then sends you the information in a response. So you have basically the HTTPS request and response there. So that is how your dynamic websites work. There is a continuous interaction between the client and the server. So more resources are required here, and that is why like you have to have a particular set of resources available for hosting dynamic websites. Static websites are comparatively easier to host because they are less resource demanding. Okay, so for any website deployment, you basically have the three basic things that are required. the the service provider, that like the cloud service provider, or the hosting service providers are specific providers, but cloud services include many more services, but we'll be using this web service for that. So there are many providers: Amazon Web Services, Heroku, Azure, and all these are required. Like you can use any one of those to host your website. So we'll be covering Heroku as well as Azure here. And like apart from these services, you also need to have a domain name. Otherwise, like the domain name is used to map your request to the server. Like first you enter the domain name. This domain name is mapped to you the IP address of your website using DNS service, and that IP address sends you the response and return the entire websites and web pages. So this is basically the components required. But like what we are covering today in Azure and Heroku, in the beginning they only provide one basic domain name that is not very like useful. But in the beginning you can just try to check how is it working or not. So domain name is given in the beginning, and then DNS service is also provided for that domain name. So you don't have to worry in the beginning about how to set up domains and DNS services, but they'll be covered in the later sections of the class today. So don't worry about that. And then this thing is about dynamic website. The static website that we are covering today is very simple. We don't have to have these resources required, and these services are provided like in a very specific manner, so you don't have to worry about how to map all domain names and everything. We are covering GitHub and Netlify today, so these are basically a provider how to this thing deploy your static websites very easily. So let's check. First thing is we are deploying static websites first. So we'll be starting with this GitHub, and then we'll go to Netlify.